So you've seen we have deployed so many efforts, we've taken up so many challenges, we have worked so much in the scrambled world and even in the multi-strada world. These two sectors are so important for us. This World Premiere 2018 is a product presentation that is sort of representing a discontinuity. I mean, something brand new. You know what I'm talking about. In Misano some weeks ago, we have presented an engine that, in my opinion, is just like a watershed, Desmosedici stradale, so the road Desmosedici, that shows, if you will, the fact of, closing one cycle and opening a brand new cycle. This is what Massimo Bottura, the chef, said. I look at the past, but I don't want to feel nostalgic. So the big question was, what can we offer our fans or supporters for the future? Well, I think that we have to leverage on our heritage of experience and knowledge after 13 years of MotoGP. This was the best answer ever when conceiving sporty bikes in the next decade or so. So one of the key inspiration was the work done by Gigi Dall'Igna and his engineers to make what is probably one of the best engines in the MotoGP, maybe the best engine. This engine has given us extraordinary performances, from the point of view of speed in racing tracks around the world. So our inspiration was so deep and direct. This is what our engineers have done. Some components have been taken directly from the MotoGP, so the layout, the bore, the combustion chamber, the twin pulse firing order, the rear wheel, the rotating crankshaft, and even the Desmo engine. Well, all of this makes this engine a unique one, because not only does it transfer so much technology from a championship where technology is so high to a lower level, something that's affordable. The price is, let's say, aligned to the basic prices of our sport bikes. We had a V4 version, but that was very exotic, while this bike will be sold in almost full compliance with the average price of mass production bikes. And at the same time, we have added another feature to what I have just said. The rotation system and even the twin pulse firing order. Well, this is sort of a mix between a two-cylinder and a four-cylinder engine. This engine has been tested for so long in our testing department because we absolutely want you to feel secure. So we want to sell reliability. Maintenance interval is 24,000 kilometers for the valve adjustment. A major effort was then deployed to merge top performances on the one side to the, let's say, duration of maintenance intervals. We can say that the general reliability of the engine depends exactly on these features. We have presented the engine already. We want to see the chassis and the bike, right? Now, as for the chassis, this is a development, an incredible development, I have to say, of the Panigale chassis. It's small, it's compact size, it is a little bit longer on the bottom, so that we can guarantee a sort of a segregation between, the flexion and the torsion. So these two kind of, strengths are fundamental in order to comply with traction and performance right in the middle of corners. This is a sporty bike, and performances are the key strength. Plenty of inspirational points from MotoGP, for example, the rear suspension. Now, the chassis is shorter, of course. It had to be shorter because in this case you save on weight. Now, paradoxically, it is not very important in the MotoGP because, weight has a specific limit. On the road products, of course, you have to have, light products. This is of an utmost importance, and this is why we really wanted to work so much on reducing weight. Now, back to the frame. There are many analogies with the MotoGP. We have the same horizontal and vertical cylinder positioning angle of the MotoGP in 2015. So maybe you remember the GP 2015. We had there the first, rear rotation. Now, there are plenty of novelties. We also signed some agreements with our most important partners so that we can really have some exclusivity agreements. So we have important components we fit on our product, and this is exclusive products. We have at least two new products. A new product from the name is Stilema. This is a part of the brakes. You will find it on the Panigale V4, and a rear tire developed by Pirelli 260. For the first time ever, it introduces exactly the same size that you can find in the superbikes. There are many other components that we have developed and we have taken down from current bikes into V4. Suspensions have been changed. Please look for some information on the website. And even the rims have been redesigned in order to reduce weight. It wouldn't have been possible to obtain this result without the cooperation of major suppliers that you can see here. All of these top-notch suppliers have been working with us day and night in order to create this extraordinary object that you can see here on my left. I really would like to thank all of our suppliers. Thank you so much for what you do with and for Ducati. I know what you're thinking of. Well, you said, okay, you've shown the engine, you've shown the chassis. Can we see the bike? Of course, a Panigale V4. Ladies and gentlemen, the Panigale V4 with a secret weapon from Ducati. This is Michele Pierro. Hi Michele, thank you for being here. Now, Michele is the secret weapon of Ducati because, I mean, he's a golden boy. But, I mean, he manages to move from extraordinary performances in the MotoGP to the testing work that he does in the MotoGP. He has helped so much our product development guys to prepare and create this bike that has so many things in common with Desmosedici GP. You're right, it was an incredible honor and a pleasure for me to participate into the development of this bike. And I have to say that this is an incredible step forward. I mean, from 2 cylinders to 4 cylinders. I think this is a quantum leap forward. I have won many, races with the previous bike, but this one is really enjoyable. It reminds me of the MotoGP bikes. I have the same feeling. So I really think it's a bike that gives you once again great enjoyment because it has incredible performances. Now, Michele, you work as a tester, you come to Misano, and then 5th position in the MotoGP. You've won every single, race but one, so you really deserve an extraordinary applause. So thank you so much for what you do for Ducati. Thank you. Now, Panigale V4, well, if you will, it's the most extreme idea that we have when we talk about style, sophistication, and performance. Now, style, this is self-explanatory. I mean, look at the design of the headlamp, and then the real lights, the dashboard, and even the surfaces. Now, sophistication, please look at the details. Just take your time and look at the details. All of them are sophisticated. In terms of performances, I mean, V4, 214 HP, configuration Euro 4, though this is, once again, pushing the bar very high. 214 HP, this is extreme power level. In a way, You know, when Michele said it reminds me of MotoGP because, of course, the power of the engine is a very important, extraordinarily important element when it comes to performances. But we've also worked so much in order to have the PR, so the performance redefined concept. In the bike, you can find plenty of riding assistance systems that, in my opinion, are unique into the super sport bike scenario. I have four key bullets I'd like to share with you. Four, functions that, if you will, are really changing the system. So, cornering ABS when we have introduced the Scrambler 1100. Now, this bike for the first time introduces a cornering ABS. This means that there's no lack of grip even when you have a top angle. This is only front by Bosch, so only on the front wheel. This means that you can slide, the rear wheel. Dynamic slide control by Bosch. This is the system that controls the slide of the rear wheel. So even if you are not experienced, you can really use the brake on the rear wheel, but of course the yaw is controlled automatically by the system. We have a slide control during acceleration together with the control of the sliding of the wheel. So you also have the control of the yaw. And again, we have a new system. This means that the gearbox, now the gearbox is automatically, so shift up, shift down. You have a DQS up and down. And in a way, it can change its behavior when shifting up, depending on, having to face a corner or not. So once again, downshifting is so sweet and automatic. Once again, to cut the long story short, the 213 HP with such a lightweight bike, well, this is really a unique opportunity. Now, I think that we want to do something very easy for riders. So we only want to offer them fun and enjoyment or enjoyability, so something which is also safe and secure. Something so important was done on reducing weight. 174 kilos, this is the dry weight of this Panigale V4. It's only 5 kilos more than Panigale V2. So this means an incredible effort was deployed. Now, if you combine the 174 dry weight kilos together with the power, 213 HP, well, the ratio between weight and power is the highest you have in this type of bikes. Now, this is it. I think that you now understand how the engine is, how the bike is, but we haven't seen the bike at the racing track. So let's see it at the Mugello track. Now, in an ordinary situation, I should say that this is the end. We have presented two totally new bikes An incredible research and development effort was deployed, and this shows that this company really believes in product innovation. But there's another very last thing. As we usually do in our Ducati presentations, there's a final surprise. And the surprise this time comes from another world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Panigale V4 Speciale. Now, this bike, well, we made it to pay homage to this epoch-making change that we're going to experience in our company. So we decided to create a beautiful object. I will give you some details. I need to share with you one key figure so that you really understand how important this bike is. 226 HP, this is the power unleashed by this bike when being equipped with the Akrapovic exhaust that's supplied with the product. This bike is also able to reach extraordinary sky-high performances. It can be used on the racing track with all of the safety systems that I have talked about before. And I absolutely believe that this is, well, representing once again an extraordinary moment in time. I mean, the fact of purchasing a bike that has all of the technology that you have in the MotoGP, together with 226 real HP, driven to the crankshaft in total safety. This is an extraordinary, one-of-a-kind, unique object. We are so proud that I need you to listen to the following. Panigale V4 Speciale and the champion Casey Stoner. Well, this is an incredible, conclusion of our presentation. Casey has left an incredible mark in our history.
We made together. Now we are working together with the development of the bike, and many of the results we are having also this year in the championship have been through the development and the kind of continuous flow of information. But now you are also testing this bike, and so what can you say about that and the similarity between this and the MotoGP?
First of all, I think I have a pretty special job, to be able to test these bikes, and especially something that's, I think, a privilege for anyone is to be able to test prototypes. And to be a part of the race team is the biggest, thing in my world at the moment. But to have the opportunity to be a part of this development in this bike and such a new era in Ducati has really been something special for me. And to see how everything's come together with the bike and how special it was during the test has been just awesome.
So, Casey, I have another question. Actually, to me, surprise every time you jump on the MotoGP bike and right away, after 1 day or 2 days, even without racing, you're there on the pace. And how this can be possible?
I don't really know, to be honest, but first of all, I sort of ride with my head. I know what I can get away with limitations, and that takes me to a certain level. And then basically it's just getting comfortable again with the bike, getting to learn the limit of the tires, and I'm not riding every week, so it takes a little bit of time to get used to everything for the first few exits. and then basically we start to fine-tune and start to move from there. So it's something I'm very privileged with, being able to adapt quickly to situations, weather changes, you know, tires, different chassis, things like this. So I'm very fortunate to have this ability, but at the same time, still a lot of hard work.
Thank you, Casey. Ladies and gentlemen, Panigale Speciale and Casey Stone, the best of the best. Thank you. Qualche piccolo dettaglio su questo oggetto
Okay, then some
straordinario.
minor details on this extraordinary object. I mean, we talked about the exhaust. We have so many components from billet in aluminum alloy, adjustable full packs, a brand new tank cap, and plenty of components in carbon. Now, the bike comes with aluminum rims, but as an option, you can also have magnesium rims. Now, if you put all of these components together, well, you save 10 kilos in terms of weight. Together with the increased power, the ratio between power and weight is 1.38 horsepower per kilo. This is impressive. We will only make 1,500 units. So it's a numbered limited edition, which is what we like to do to celebrate the most important moments in times in the history of our company. Now, this bike will be made, let's say, stepwise, because many components have a limited production, so we don't have a full availability, so it will take some time. But we know that we will have this opportunity. I mean, all of our supporters and fans will have to register and wait to have this unique product.